we are excited about our campaign, Fling-Wide-the-Door, and we're going to use several videos to help introduce all the projects and initiatives of this campaign to you. Let us introduce you to several of the key projects right now, and we want to start with Mooring Line Drive and our annual stewardship campaign. Let's describe them right now. When you hear about the campaign, Fling-Wide-the-Door, we're talking about really two initiatives here at Emmanuel. The first, Fling-Wide-the-Door, is our annual stewardship drive to keep our annual budget strong so that we can maintain our ministries here at Emmanuel. The annual fund is about $200,000 more than the annual budget last year. Thank you for your generosity. But we're also talking about all the initiatives that will affect our campus right here on Mooring Line Drive. We're going to be welcoming and building a welcoming and hospitality space, refreshing our life together at a total of $7.25 million. Here are the projects: the sanctuary renovation, the new multimedia studio, new programs for the new space, the Family Life Center, which includes kitchen renovation, and general facility care. But the key will be this wonderful new space that we're going to create out at the Breezeway. It's going to be spectacular and allow us to do more educational programs, events, and even larger worship services. The total commitment for Mooring Line Drive is $7.25 million, and you'll be receiving this initiative, which you'll find on page 4 and 5 of your prospectus, by March 24th and our big event. Again, we're excited about all events. You can always ask questions, and remember, we're going to slowly every Sunday be reviewing each of these initiatives before you get the prospectus where everything is found together. Thank you for your generosity and your support. The next two initiatives that you'll find in the prospectus as part of our stewardship campaign is the focus on Emmanuel Academies and Emmanuel Communities. Let's hear about them right now.
Pastor Rick, thank you so much for the opportunity to share the blessings that are Emmanuel Communities and Emmanuel Academies. Emmanuel Communities is developing Emmanuel Community Park, the home of Emmanuel Park Church, Pastor Will's congregation. Emmanuel has owned that site for almost 17 years. And this campaign will allow us to build a worship hall, a community hall, to host that congregation, as well as serve the surrounding community, showing them and bringing them to Christ and introducing them to their neighbors. Emmanuel Academies was visioned almost 20 years ago by Pastor Steve as a theological institution in the South, facing southward. We have followed the Spirit, and the Spirit has led us around the world, and we now have students not only in Florida, but in Central and South America and in Africa as well. Together, we've got almost 50 students today, and we're excited about the opportunities that lay ahead. Emmanuel Academies is reforming theological education, delivering theological education at 70% less than traditional theological education, and bringing it to where the students are, making it accessible and contextually appropriate. I thank you for your consideration, for your interest, and look forward to answering any questions that you may have about the campaign and how funds may be used.
The third dimension of our stewardship campaign, Fling-Wide-the-Door, includes two things, which is the Emmanuel General Endowment and Emmanuel the Good Samaritan Fund. Let's hear about both of those initiatives right now.
The General Endowment is a part of the campaign as well. Most of us know what an endowment is, and it certainly helps us to sustain what we have. However, it also keeps our ministry strong and provides for a source of funds to allow for creative new ministry to be launched. One of the areas that is so exciting is the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan Fund allows us to do a lot of outreach in our community. We are able to support other nonprofits, other organizations with their needs, and we're also able to help those who need us most. As an example, when we had Hurricane Ian, we were able to help one of our small churches here in our community to get up and really get going. So we were able to provide those resources to that church. Also, we were able to set up an area on their grounds that would allow us to give out needed food, clothing to everyone in that area and in the community. So the Good Samaritan is just that. It's a good way for us to support the needs outside of our church.
And the fourth initiative we want to hear about here at Emmanuel is out at the park, especially how it involves a new mission start. Let's hear now from Pastor Will Kittinger right now.
Thank you, Pastor Rick. We're so excited about flinging wide the door and embracing all in Christ here at Emmanuel Park, especially because the construction of the pavilion is underway. This pavilion raised up by the people of Emmanuel will be our gathering space for worship, a space to welcome future members of the community into our congregation through our Alpha program, a setting for our Sidewalk Sunday School and Vacation Bible School summer camps, a base for feeding our over 500 families in partnership with Meals of Hope, a future farmers market to connect local micro businesses with the rest of the neighborhood, but to prepare for the thousands of homes being constructed around the park, the tens of thousands of people moving into the neighborhood, and the folks we're already currently serving. We're going to need to expand and scale these ministries. We're going to need to grow as the community grows. And we're going to do that in partnership with Emmanuel Communities, the church's nonprofit organization charged with developing the infrastructure here at the park and constructing the central building, the community hall. And so the $500,000 earmarked by our campaign will go towards growing these ministries to match the growth of the community. It will prepare Emmanuel Park as a congregation to connect and meet the needs of the future. And so the $500,000 earmarked by our campaign will go towards growing our ministries to match the growth of the community. It will prepare Emmanuel Park as a congregation to connect and meet the needs of our neighbors, building our congregation for the future. Thank you for your generosity, for your prayers, and for your continued support of building the congregation here at Emmanuel Park. God bless you.